going on, guys? Jason out here at the shop. Got a piece of 1/2-inch rebar here. Fairly accessible to get. Got a ton of it laying around here at the shop. We're going to forge out a couple of door handles and let's get started. Okay, we're going to mark out about 14 inches, which is to the end of my anvil space there. I really only need 13 inches, which is from the first one that I made, but we're going to make a hot cut there at 14 inches, and then we'll go ahead and do a hot cut. Really liking this hot cut tool for the hardy hole. It's fairly simple to make. I made it out of an old bolt. It's got to be pretty, just got to get the job done. But I'll have a link in the description of how I made that. Alright, now we're going to start flattening out the rebar. We'll start off on this end, just kind of work both ends, shooting for around 3/16 thick, all the way down the rebar. Alright, now we're going to make a 2-inch mark here on both ends. This is going to be the part that we bend down, that we bolt to the door. On the first one I made, it's 2 inches on each side, so I kind of want to keep it as close as I can possible. So we're just going to mark that out, 2 inches on both sides. Now what I'm doing here is marking about 2.5 inches because it ended up stretching out to about 16 inches after all was said and done, and we want to bring it back down to 13 inches, which was the overall length of the first one that I made. Okay, now after that cut, we're going to go ahead and start rounding the tip on both sides just to kind of clean it up a little bit, because again, this is going to be the part that we bend down to bolt to the door. Alright, now we're just going to do the same thing to the other side. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. After the cuts, it gets a little rough. Then we'll clean the rest of it off on the grinder. And we're going to go ahead and twist the final portion of this. I already twisted the first portion. I'm just going to finish up the top to kind of even it out with the rest of the twist. And then go ahead and clean it up with the wire brush. Alright, now we're going to stick it back into the forge, and we're going to start our first bend. Now we're going to use the wood so we don't damage the twist. So the wood tends to work good so that it embraces the impact and not the steel. And we'll do the same thing on the other end. Now I'm using the width of my anvil as a good jig of sorts. I didn't quite make a jig yet for it, so this kind of worked out good for me. All right, now we're going to bend our ends down, the part that's going to mount to the door. Going to again put it on the outside of the anvil to get the original bend in, and then just kind of eyeball it from there to make sure everything's flat. All right, now off to the belt sander, and we're just going to clean up any rough edges left on the twist and put a nice shine to it. And then also clean up any rough edges on the bends that are going to mount to the door. I got a used 80 grit belt on here right now to start off. Alright, got the pink Scotch-Brite belt on the 2x42. We're just going to clean up any rough edges left behind from the 80 grit. Give it a little bit better of a shine. Alright, now we're going to drill a couple of holes on each mounting bracket. Just one up top and one a little bit lower on each bend. Alright, now just going to take the small file off any rough edges left from the drilling, and finish it off with some boiled linseed oil. Gives it a nice black shiny finish. Now, I made these specifically for my barn doors, which is how I enter my garage. I don't have a garage door. So I specifically made these for them, and this is me putting the first one up, and I'll go ahead and put the second one right on next to it. Really like the way these came out. It does exactly what I wanted to do, and I'll be making 2 more for the outside, and I'll more than likely be putting these on my Etsy store, so be on the lookout for those. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Really do enjoy making rustic crafts out of discarded steel or reusable steel. So I hope you guys enjoy it.